Today, we're unpacking one of the most absolutely unbelievable high-stakes matches of the entire 2026 FIFA World Cup knockout stage. I mean, we are looking at a game that literally had it all. We're talking early shock, deep dark despair, some absolute tactical genius, and a frantic, heart-stopping finish. It's the match that people are already calling the Atlanta Miracle. Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly do the defending world champions survive the ultimate World Cup nightmare? You know, when a heavy favorite meets a massive underdog on the pitch, we kind of expect a predictable script, right? But in knockout football, just one moment of brilliance or one tiny lapse in concentration can flip the entire tournament on its head. Today, we're going to map out exactly how this David versus Goliath matchup went completely off the rails and how a seemingly impossible comeback was actually engineered.
Act 1, an unexpected nightmare.
So the packed stadium in Atlanta was totally primed for a classic display of dominance. The expectation was pretty simple. The defending champions, Argentina, stepped onto the pitch as the heavy favorites. But the reality? Well, Egypt completely refused to read the script. They didn't just sit back and absorb pressure, they actually attacked. Just 15 minutes into the game, they completely silenced that sea of blue and white in the stands. Outwitting the Argentine defense, Yasser Ibrahim perfectly timed his run to catch this brilliant cross, and he just powers a bullet header right past Emiliano Martinez into the far corner. Just like that, the Giants were bleeding.
Act 1 continued, frustration and a miss.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the frantic reaction. Staring at this early deficit, a totally stunned Argentina threw absolutely everything forward, just desperate to reset the narrative. And it seemed to work. A golden lifeline arrived via the penalty spot just 5 minutes later. But think about the immense, isolated emotional burden here. Lionel Messi steps up, literally carrying the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. He strikes it low, a trademark penalty, but the Egyptian keeper Mostafa Ziko guesses correctly and makes the spectacular diving save to deny the equalizer. It was Messi's second penalty miss of the tournament. The frustration just boiled over, and despite dominating possession, Argentina went into halftime trailing 1-0, looking completely frantic and out of sync.
Act 2, the abyss.
As the teams came back out for the second half, the tension, man, it was suffocating. Argentina is desperately searching for an equalizer, but Egypt's rigid defensive shape is just holding incredibly strong. And even worse for Argentina, the Pharaohs looked absolutely deadly on the counter. The champions were staring deep into the void. And then, the 67th minute, disaster strikes a second time. Exploiting a gap during a rapid transition, Egypt's Mostafa Ziko finds himself in space, and he calmly slots home what looked like the ultimate insurance goal, 2-0. With less than 25 minutes left on the clock, Egyptian fans are celebrating what's shaping up to be a historic, iconic upset. Argentina was teetering right on the absolute brink of an embarrassing exit.
Act 3, the tactical shift.
And this brilliantly illustrates where desperation perfectly meets tactical brilliance. With their World Cup lives quite literally flashing before their eyes, manager Lionel Scaloni had to make a move. He couldn't just rely on passion anymore. He needed to change the very geometry of the pitch. Step 1, inject Lautaro Martinez directly into the attack to just pile on heavy pressure. Step 2, bring on Nicolas Gonzalez to stretch that weary Egyptian defense. These specific subs fundamentally altered Argentina's attacking shape and finally ignited the spark they had been missing all night.
Act 3 continued.
11 minutes of madness. The tactical shift worked like absolute magic. The momentum shifted in the blink of an eye. The field tilted entirely toward the Egyptian penalty box. And for the first time all match, Egypt actually started to panic. We go from a 79th minute Cristian Romero header straight into an 82nd minute Lionel Messi strike, culminating in a 93rd minute Enzo Fernández header. Boom, boom, boom. Within a matter of minutes, the stadium erupted from tense silence into unfiltered bedlam. Let's break down those first two crucial strikes. In the 79th minute, the comeback is officially on. Defender Cristian Romero finds himself completely unmarked, somehow, to power a free header home from a beautifully whipped-in set piece, cutting the lead to 2-1. Then, just 3 minutes later, we get this incredible micro-arc of redemption for Messi. The maestro receives the ball inside the penalty area, shifts it onto that lethal left foot, and unleashes a blistering strike past Chobir to level the game at 2-2. In an instant, the heavy burden of his earlier missed penalty just evaporated. Let's move to and see how this builds into the finale. Stoppage time, heartbreak. With the score tied up, the referee signals a grueling minimum of 9 minutes of stoppage time. 9 minutes! Egypt is completely on the ropes, just desperately trying to clear their lines and hold on for the safety of extra time. And then, the 93rd minute. Deep into injury time, the ultimate climax arrives. Moving fluently down the flank, substitute Lautaro Martinez repays his manager's faith, delivering this perfect floating cross right into the danger zone. And right there is Enzo Fernández, rising highest to meet the ball with a thunderous header that just flies into the back of the net. 3-2. The turnaround is complete.
Those final seconds, absolute chaos. Egypt picked up multiple yellow cards out of pure, unadulterated frustration as the biggest win of their lives just slipped right through their fingers. The final whistle blew shortly after, officially securing the victory. Argentina completed a comeback for the ages, breaking Egyptian hearts to stamp their ticket to the 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals.
So the crucial point is, we're left with this massive question to ponder. Did this miraculous escape just ignite the unstoppable momentum Argentina needs to successfully defend their title? Or did Egypt actually provide a blueprint, exposing a fatal flaw in the champion's armor? The rest of the world is definitely watching, and this tournament just got a whole lot more interesting. Thanks for joining me